Well, Manuel Terradillos joins me now in the studio with more on this story from our Spanish service. Manu, can you explain more about what actually has been happening with Nissan and particularly the decision to close the plant in Catalonia?
Buenas tardes, good afternoon, Alistair. Well, the images we're seeing right now shows very well the decision. It's to closing down all its production in Catalonia, and it's going to have a big effect. We're speaking about 3,000 people more or less losing their jobs directly in Catalonia, and that will add to 25,000 jobs that can be lost in indirect jobs, in distribution, constructor, etc. And also the fear, because they also have production plants in other places in Spain. So people are still expecting what's going to happen. It was something that we already expected because the factory was working at 30% of its capacity. There was a strike, so it was more or less expected in the last months, to the point that Pedro Sánchez had a meeting in Davos in January with the management. At that time on Twitter, he even said that it was guaranteed, the employment. But we have seen how the situation has deteriorated with the pandemic. And now, well, this strong decision of cutting it off and having at least, it could be even to 30,000 jobs lost in Spain in these difficult times.
We should mention, of course, that Nissan is going to keep its plant open in the UK. Looking ahead, though, the jobs in Spain, they're not going to be closed down straight away. What happens next?
The government still is not giving up. They want to negotiate. It's been, as I said, something that comes from some long time ago, this meeting in Davos. So what they're proposing is to update the facilities to make it competitive again. And what the tool or the card they're willing to play is that with the plan they have proposed is that you will need just 300 million to update the facilities and make it competitive again. On the other hand, if you really close it down, you will need to pay 1 billion euros in terms of contracts, finishing contracts, compensation. So why not to keep on negotiating to see if we can find a solution to keep it open and save as many jobs as possible.
Manu Terradillos, Euronews Spanish service. Thanks very much.
Always a pleasure.